Hi everybody, I'm Laura. Welcome back to my channel. It is the afternoon because I had a disaster this morning recording. It wasn't the camera's fault. It was 100% me. And I feel really bad because I made this really pretty. I should have brought out a lint roller. Necklace, which is stuck under the edge of that container. Of course, I have, I think today is just not meant to be a filming day for me. Maybe that's it. But I made this really pretty necklace. And the entire video, I thought I was recording, but I'd gotten up to get a what do you call it? I'd gotten up to get something and I had paused it, and when I came back I'd hit unpause, but if I touch it too long, I mean minute of a second, very, you know, it's really touchy. And that's apparently what I did. And even though it looked like it was recording, I wasn't looking at the specific numbers, which is hard to see white on white. Yep. Even though the little red button was red instead of the little lines, it wasn't actually recording. So what was supposed to be recording wasn't what wasn't supposed to be recording was. So the only thing that actually got recorded was me laying out everything. I kid you not, guys. So, but this beautiful little pendant is one of the shell coin beads on a dangle. And I've used some of the little, oops, that's the wrong one. I thought I had it all laying here. Yeah, well, this is what happens when you clean because of everything going wrong. Then you can't find your little paper for it. But anyways, guys, you can see what I used. It is just gorgeous. These little, oh my goodness, my brain is not with me. Clamshells only have one loop, but they seem to be quite sturdy. And anyways, I used a variety of the beads. And what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to make a bracelet to go with it. So I've got a whole tray of things here that we're going to work with. I have bracelets, earrings, I have all kinds of stuff set out to do. So I think we're going to go ahead and get, and I thought I had the box sitting right next to me and I don't, and that's a panic situation. I do want to use some of these larvikite, some more of these indigo blue, and some of these little six-sided crystals. And I want to use some of these dangles. I'm going to get everything up in the area where the phone is. I think that's what we're going to go with. And then, of course, I'm going to add in some spacer beads and that kind of thing. And I'm going to go ahead and get those, and I'll make sure I push pause and unpause correctly so that we don't have this happen again. But I am going to use the little beads in conjunction with this. And I really want something a little more colorful, but it is what it is. It'll be okay, and we'll just get going with it. Okay, so yes, it is recording. And I may have put away my little copper spacer beads. I didn't mean to if I did. Because I planned on having them out. Wouldn't that be something if I have to go get them? And I really did want to add more copper because it just doesn't fit. Hold on. Okay, now I think I'm completely ready. I do have some scrap pieces we're going to use of 7-strand beading wire. And we're going to utilize them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these stars and I'm going to use that to clasp into like that. I thought that would be pretty neat. And I'm going to start out by first putting a clamshell on. These are one of my regular clamshells because this is a bracelet. It's going to get more tug. I want to be sure it's going to hold because I've never really used those that only have one loop. And we're just going to go ahead and grab the crimp tube and we're going to mash it down. And I kind of had it being close to the end. I took him back off because I want him to stay. That's what happens when you have your pliers facing the wrong way and you can't see what you're doing. So I'm going to mash that down. Tug test, it's on. I'm going to bring my clamshell up and we're going to squeeze it together. Give it a hug and then I'm going to mash them together. And I'm simply going to see how this turns out. I'm not going to need a bead there because that is already, you know, the matching color. I'm simply going to bead these on. And we'll see how we come out. I do want this to kind of match the necklace. So I may not use the larvikite rondelles. Now that does not look good next to each other. Let's go ahead and get a brass spacer bead. Let's get some of them out. And then let's just go ahead and do this larvikite and see what that looks like. I actually kind of like it, so let's go with it. Do another one of these. Now this doesn't need to be too long because we do have this centerpiece. And then let's go ahead and let's see how they look together. I like that. I may not want to put 2 of them on because whatever this measures plus all of this plus a jump ring so that's almost 3 inches plus my closures, so that would make it about 6 inches. I think what I'll do is that small jump ring. Let me put it all up here and measure it, guys, because I really don't want to goof this up and have it be very large because there's no fixing it without taking it completely apart. Dead center is just under 6 inches, and that's giving myself room for a jump ring. Okay. Well, 3 inches double it is 6. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and do, because I want 6.5. This larvic height. This might be way too much. We'll see. We'll see. And I may have to take that little green bead off here. Let's rearrange this. So let's put the blue. Let's put this. One of these. Let's go ahead and put one of these. If I can pick him back up. All right. Gotta remember to give myself a little extra room. I think we took off just a little too much. Go figure. I think we could still do like this. I don't know if I like that green bead in there, but let's go for it. It's all about being colorful. Get him out of our way. Now let's measure it. It'll be just 3 1/4, so that'll give me about 6.5 inches. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I gotta add this and this. You know what, guys? Let's just take that back off. Go with this. It'll be all right. Because we are working with big fat beads, I think we'll be fine. All right, let's go ahead and close this. Because we can always add a piece of chain and make it bigger, but we cannot make it smaller for somebody without redoing the entire bracelet. So we're going to go ahead, put our clamshell on, open it wide, drop our crimp tube in. We're going to kind of give it a little bit of a curve. We are working with a tiny piece. We're going to grab that. We want to make sure that our beads are all nice and snug, but not too snug. I'm going to pick it up now, and we're going to make sure that that crimp tube is nice and mashed. We're going to give it a tug test, and now we're going to crimp off this right here, and I'm going to close it. Give it a hug here. Don't want to squeeze that too hard or you'll squash it. And then flatten that. So we have this piece ready. And then I'm going to repeat that on the other side. Again, we're going to start with clamshell, whoops. Crimp tube. Grab that, bring it up close to the end and squash. See what happens when you put it on the very end. It will not stay. It'll pull off. It's on snug. Fold over the clamshell. Give it a hug and then squeeze those two pieces together. And then we're going to repeat this backwards. So we have a indigo bead, one of these little tiny crystals, another indigo. Now I need to look and see what I did here. I went with one of these 6-sided crystals. These are beautiful, by the way, very flashy. Then I put on a copper spacer. And then I used a larvicite. Look at the flash on that. And then I used another copper spacer. I have more to the side of me. An indigo. One of these little gemstones. Find the hole. There we go. I want to make sure that they're matching. Whoops. Another one of these. And another copper. I'm going to hold them together. I want to make sure they match. Perfect. We're going to go ahead, open again. All the way up, drop it on, and I'm going to grab my crimp tube, drop it down in, give that a little bit of a curl. I'm going to reach down in here, give it a little bit of a push, and flatten that out. When you use bigger beads, you definitely want to put something small between them to help them be able to bend freely. I'm going to double check and make sure that that's on there tight, and it is. And we are going to go ahead and trim that off. Get a hold of that. And then we're going to close that, give it a little bit of a hug, flatten this part out, and that will go on that side. Let's get rid of my extras because we don't need them in the picture right now. Alright, so we now need some jump rings, which I honestly thought I brought over. Did I leave them? I did. I had them in my hand and then set the box back down. So we're just going to go ahead and assemble this. And I may want the bigger jump rings for the center of the bracelet, but we'll find out. First thing I want to do is I want to add these to that. So we're going to, well, I guess I decided it wasn't going to hang there anymore. That's okay. Well, that just scared the bejeevers out of me. We're going to put that on, and then we're going to hook it, not in the dead center, but off to this. Well, let's go ahead and put it dead center. We can put them both right in the middle, and then close it up. I'm not sure the story of why there's a leaf. Is it because it's the beginning of the fall? But no matter, I think it's lovely. And now we'll go ahead and we'll put the star on. And I might just link the star right to that leaf. Well, it's not wanting me to, so we'll just there we go. It is not where it should be. Okay. So now we're going to attach each side to the center focal. There we are. I will need to get one more jump ring out. There we are. So there's that. And then I'm going to add my clasp on one side. Oh, there we go. It didn't go and drop all the way. Which when I was making that bracelet or the necklace, I was having that issue the whole entire time. I was like, why am I dropping every single thing? So we need one more of those. Actually, probably add some in the dish right next to me, but that's okay. And using a star for my clasp. There we go. And I will measure this so that you know how long this ended up being. So it is just a shade under, straighten it out. Lengthwise 6 3/4 inches, but you have bigger beads. So when you have bigger beads, it takes up a little more real estate on your wrist. So this would actually probably fit a 6 1/2 inch wrist. Look at how tiny that is on the inside. Get it to lay where I can take, where you guys can see what it looks like. Everything has been a struggle for me today. Okay, so let's unfasten it. And I have a 7 1/4 inch wrist. And part of the reason why it doesn't want to stand is because of the leaves. So we'll just lay it just like that so that you can see what it looks like. I think it's really adorable. I love how it turned out. I'm going to get these extras out of our way. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me on this. This is a cute little tutorial, quick little way to make this into a bracelet bar, adding a couple little dangles. And of course, you know, you can add just a small length of chain and make this a little bit bigger for people that need a bigger bracelet. You know, really quick, easy, fun to do bracelet. Thank you for hanging out with me, guys. Love each and every one of you. Bye, everybody.